Alright, so this is a video I've kind of been putting off for a little while because I'm lazy and I didn't really want to make it. But in this video we're going to kind of just be going over what I think will be the best meta towers for GTD Part 2. So to start off, I did just kind of want to mention that we don't have the updated stats for any of the event towers yet. Maybe those will be coming out later today. I don't really know. I don't really care either. These are all of the non-event tower new stats. Alright, so first, I'm going to start with the early game towers. Soldier is no longer the best early game tower in the game because it has a lower DPS starting and it costs more than it used to. So I think that the new meta tower for early game, for those who don't have any event towers, is going to be Catgirl. Catgirl does have a smaller range, but she has 175 DPS to start with, and she's really cheap to place. She also now has AoE for every single level, which means that she will be really useful for early game. So I was also kind of thinking that maybe Fist Fighter would actually be useful now, but he's still kind of expensive, and he doesn't have AoE like Catgirl does. Another tower could possibly be Freezer, because Freezer also was given AoE for every single level. However, Freezer has a lower DPS, so it might not be as useful as Catgirl or even Fist Fighter. I also did want to say that Freezer could possibly be a meta tower now, if you don't have Winter Cannon or Winter Arcanist, because of how the freeze works now on Freezer. It freezes over time and eventually actually freezes them for like 10 seconds, and it's pretty overpowered. Also, Chad and DJ got buffs, and they're really useful now. DJ's slightly more expensive than it used to be, but it gives a discount buff now, and it gives more of a range buff than it used to. Chad is also really good now. At level 2, he gets a like an ability, kind of like Commander from Tower Defense Simulator. It has a cooldown of 30 seconds, and it increases fire rate by 25%. So basically, we're going to be chaining Chad just like it's a commander. You're going to need 3 of them. One has to be max, the other 2 have to be level 2. And you can just chain the ability infinitely. It's definitely going to be meta now. Alright, so now we're going to get on to the mid-game, late-game DPS towers. So Destroyer is actually like busted now. It got a huge DPS increase, and its price was halved. So yeah, Destroyer might actually be useful now. However, Trickster is still obviously better. Trickster got a huge price decrease as well, but that is because farms give significantly less money than they used to, and Beast costs a lot more than it used to as well. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but he definitely costs more, so you can't just immediately place him down anymore. Alright, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about Trickster. So Trickster got a significant DPS increase. I think it went up by 14,000, something like that. And now he has a lot of damage, but he attacks a lot slower. Like every other tower in the game does that now too. Something else that's important to add is the fact that every single tower now has a placement limit. Trickster has a 5, Destroyer has 4, and I don't remember how much Annihilator has, but I'll talk about that later. So that means that you will need 2 late game DPS towers probably, because you're going to need more than 5 Tricksters to go as far as you can in Infinite now. Alright, so Annihilator. Annihilator is pretty much the exact same. Level 1, 2, 3, and 4 got buffs because they were utterly useless before. Now they're kind of useful, they're actually pretty good. They just cost a little more now than they used to. And finally, we have Scientist. I know before Scientist was terrible, it was an absolute waste of money, like there was no reason for you to get Scientist when you could just save up to get Trickster. But now it's looking like Scientist is actually going to be really useful, and it is most definitely going to be meta for events. I mean, sure, it's kind of expensive, it's about the same price as Annihilator, it's actually even more, and it doesn't have that much DPS. But at max level, it can cure stuns, which is going to probably be really useful for the new modes, because I'm assuming stuns are actually going to do a lot more than just stun like 2 towers that aren't useful at all. It also has poison, not that that's really useful at all either. I mean, it doesn't do that much damage. It does like 4,000 damage total, even at max level. Alright, so that's really all the towers. And that's really all I really need to talk about in this video. But I did want to mention, next update, I think, is when we are getting new game modes. People are speculating that the next update is going to bring the core game mode, which is like a map with 4 entrances that you have to defend a core, and you can upgrade your core, and I think it does damage as well when you upgrade it. It's kind of expensive. Not sure though. But yeah, that's really it. So once we get the event tower stats, I can make a part 2 if you guys want me to. Just let me know down below. But that's really it for this video. I hope this was helpful in some way, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.